Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Google Podcast, Spotify, Radio Public, Breaker, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. At Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 14 coming soon. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram or YouTube itself. What up, world? So I just watched Captain Marvel. It is, if I'm not mistaken, the 21st movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The MCU can legally drink now, go out and buy a bottle. It stars Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Jude Law, Annette Bening, Jaimin Hansu, Lashana Lynch, Clark Gregg, Gemma Chan, and I feel like there's somebody important to this cast that I'm forgetting accidentally, I swear. It is directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. They directed Mississippi Burning, I think it's called, with Ryan Reynolds and Ben Mendelsohn. I think that's who I forgot. If you want to get a shout out in my review of, let's say, Us, because I highly doubt Captive State comes to my theater, stay tuned to the end of the video to figure out how you can do that. So, you got Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. You got Kree noble. She's a group of noble warrior heroes, as she puts it. Out on a mission, she gets separated from the team. She ends up on the Terran planet of C-53, I think. And then she uncovers a lot of truth about herself, about her past, about the world she thought she knew, and a little wet under the ears S.H.I.E.L.D. agent named Nick Fury is along for the ride. Y'all know I gotta start with the precursor, man. I'm excited for this movie. I'm not really excited for this movie, man. And it's like Marvel has my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what MCU movie comes out, like, I'm gonna watch it. I was not excited for this movie though. The trailers were so weak to me. I liked the trailer that came out during the national championship football game, and the rest of the trailers were just weak. If you guys have watched enough of my reviews, y'all know I'm non-biased, especially when it comes to comic book movies. I love DC, I love MCU, I love Fox, I love Sony, whoever's putting it out. I'm hyped for the Hellboy reboot. But I honestly thought Brie Larson came off cardboard as hell. And she kind of does throughout the movie, but it's the performance. It's explained within the plot why she conducts herself as she does. So it's not a bad performance. It's how the character is written. You know what I mean? So like, if you want to bash Brie Larson for how she plays Captain Marvel, blame the writing. And like, the writing's not even bad. Like, the story is enjoyable. But there are some things, like, I had mad issues with this movie, and the first fight scene she's in after she gets separated, they're trying to force her as a badass. Like, she's making these faces in fight scenes like she's struggling to take a shit, and it just, I wasn't buying it until, like, fight scenes later on improved. Like, the fights got better, the stakes got better. Like, there's a plot twist that I didn't see coming, but it didn't impact me emotionally. Like, it's dope. Like, this is a Captain Marvel origin story, obviously, but it's also a little on the sly a Nick Fury origin story too, and I thought that was really cool. Like, the dynamic between Nick Fury and Captain Marvel was very dope. The post credit scene for Infinity War gets explained. Like, that's the one thing I wanted in this movie. Just explain how that happened, explain the fallout, and I was pleased with that. There's a lot of plot misdirection, deception. There's an item in this movie that just, we've seen it before in the MCU, and there's no explanation to how it shows up, and we're just, as fans, just supposed to be cool that it's there. And I don't know, I hope somehow like a sequel explains what happened, because last I heard, a character found this, and I thought it was stashed safely until we see it again in phase 1. And that's the thing, like, man, this is a good movie, but it's like it's like the first Thor movie. Like, it's good, but it doesn't grab me. It just doesn't hit me. Like, I've fallen in love with every MCU movie since probably Captain America Winter Soldier has just like dropped my jaw at one point or another. This movie never did that. Like, the side characters are cool, man. There's like a lot of inspiration for little young girls to idolize and, you know, appreciate. Like, this is a good movie for little girls to go see, just like Wonder Woman was. Like you can be strong on your own. Like, that's a dope message. It was very cool to see Coulson on screen again. You know, I'm caught up with Agents of Shield, so like I've seen Coulson, but you haven't seen him in a Marvel Cinematic Universe theatrical release in 7 years. Like, that's insane. It's dope. And in the trailers, I thought Coulson's de-aging looked a little shoddy too, but like it's not bad. The mid-credit scene is phenomenal. It's everything you could ask for and damn near more. The post-credit scene is played for humor the same way they did Ant-Man and the Wasp, but this one is way better. This movie only came out to showcase how strong of a character Captain Marvel is, because once she, like, there comes a point where she unlocks her powers, goes full badass, and from that point it's just like, oh yeah, like Thanos is about to get his ass beat. And like, that's the only reason this movie came out. Like, I don't think it's necessary to watch before Endgame comes out. I think this movie has one of my all-time favorite Stan Lee cameos. There's a lot of Stan Lee love in this movie, which is very dope. I think like Jude Law was dope. Like, there's multiple Sherlock Holmes, there's multiple Watsons in the MCU now. I thought Jude Law was a dope character. I thought Ben Mendelsohn was good up to a point, and then I didn't like the way his character was used after a certain point. Like, all the 90s pop culture references was real cool. The soundtrack was very dope. Like, it doesn't reach Guardians levels, but it was very dope. Man, I like it, it's a good movie. It's just not like flirting with the epicness that of the heights that the MCU has reached in the past. So with all that being said, man, in my opinion, I will say that Captain Marvel is almost dope. Have you seen Captain Marvel, man? What did you think about it, man? Positive, negative, somewhere in between, man? Let me know. Honestly, as far as powers, I think that Thor is the only Avenger that can even go toe to toe with Captain Marvel. Like, that's how dope she is as far as powers. Where do you rank it in the MCU, man? 21 movies. It could be anywhere. This could be one of the most divisively ranked MCU movies. If you want that shout out in my next review, man, like, I'm just gonna say my next review, because it could be us. It could be a month late Fighting with My Family review. It could be Captive State. Within $2 million, higher or lower, man. How much is Captain Marvel gonna make opening weekend, man? Be the first, be the closest. Get your guesses in by noon Central Time Sunday, and you will get shouted. I've recently reviewed How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, the Lego Movie 2, What Men Want, Cold Pursuit, Happy Death Day to You, Alita, Battle Angel. All those reviews are posted, man. 13 Rec League podcast episodes. Check those out. Episode 14 will come the last weekend of the month, man. Like, I'm not going to do an episode this weekend, man. Like, some personal business come up, and I can't be up all late editing a podcast. So 14 will come before April. Believe that. But I think, yeah, like I want to see Captive State. I just don't think my theater is gonna get it. Us comes out in 2 weeks, and then the weekend after that, Dumbo comes out. So I got 2 or 3 more reviews coming in March, man. Like, subscribe, comment, find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.